Okay, Jeff, explain to the world
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
What's going on here? What is?
Let me just
Oh, he's doing something else.
squeeze it. No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just going to grab this here. And,
All right.
Right. Explain to the world.
Explain. Well, I'm focused on your lathe now, and this particular something that's sitting on it.
What we've got here is a machined mandrel.
Yes. To hold this.
That are machined, which is I'll explain the cock up in a minute.
Yeah, go on.
They seem to follow me around for some reason.
Yep.
What we've been doing, the conrods.
Now to start off, these are the centres of the standard Kawasaki conrods, are they not?
They're the big ends.
Big ends, yes. That you've now cut out and.
Can we? Yeah, is that all right there?
Yeah.
What I've done is I've machined them with a tungsten tip down as far as they'll go.
Yeah.
Because they're very hard on the faces.
Yeah.
And we've got them all to that. And I thought I'll put our mandrel in.
Which holds this in place on the lathe.
Which slides on, and then the aluminium cap there just grips it.
Yes.
And then this device,
just over here, just a sec. Yeah, go on.
You set it a few thou at a time, and you can just sort of whiz it back and two.
So you're grinding the outside,
and it grinds them.
Yes.
Like that to size.
Yeah.
It's a perfect finish then for pressing into the rod.
Right. Okay. That sounds good.
You'd never get a finish like that if you tried to machine it with a tip.
No. Okay. And that was all going well. You did that one. And then something went a bit awry.
Yeah, I thought there was fireworks going off at the side of my ear hole.
Let's just zoom back a bit and we'll see what's going on. So I've zoomed back a bit and now we can see this motor, his little motor.
It's all in focus,
which is not the motor we're using because the original motor blew up.
It started arcing and then I stripped it and there was a contact. I thought, spent an hour repairing it. It worked to do one and then just went up in smoke.
Right, okay. So now with that one kaput, you found this one here.
Well, I've had this motor with this little thing and it's a half or 0.37 kilowatts, so it's half horse, so it's powerful enough.
Yeah. Except you're saying it actually spins the wrong way.
It's going the wrong way at the moment.
Apart from that,
a bit like me.
Apart from that, I'll be fine. So you need a way of driving that grind wheel now, don't you? And you've got this here, but it spins the wrong way, which isn't ideal. But I'll
just drop that as that.
Yeah. Take it up. Yeah.
This is a 3,000 RPM motor, whereas the original we'll have to show the.
Yeah. We'll show the wheel.
And the base of it was designed to fit on this. It's actually a wolf grinder attachment. So. Okay. But now I've got to.
You're now going to try and make that fit.
I've got to try
and reverse the polarity and make it spin the other way.
Yeah, which...
Or you could go out and buy a new one, but you can't afford it, so that's why you need to try and make do amend. Yeah.
So...
Okay, let's now go on the workshop. Sorry. Now let's go to your workbench and see what else is going on.
The workbench.
The workbench, yeah. Okay, so I'll move my empty cup out of the way. And so this is the motor that blew its gasket, as it were.
This is nothing to do with it. That's
no, that's a different job, yeah. And you've now looked at that and it looks a little bit sad, a little bit tired. And mind you, how old is it? Look at the state of that label.
Well, I've stripped it. There's a couple of connectors in there, the wires had gone.
Yeah.
I fixed it, but that's still alright. And then I looked at the brushes and the commutators, it's fried.
Yeah.
It does nothing now. If you plug it in, it just sparks and it makes funny noises.
Right, okay, so we can call that one kaput.
That's
time to put that in the bin, I think.
I think that's going in the scrap bin, that.
Yeah. And therefore it takes a lot longer to do anything. Now if I spin round, move my cup out of the way, here, we can see what we're talking about because here are your billet conrods,
there we've actually just got one now that's been ground ready.
Yeah.
If we warm the rod up...
And pressed it in?
If we warm that and cool that...
It should just drop in.
The only thing is making sure it drops to the right place.
Yeah.
Because instantly, as soon as
it's staying in.
It's
Yeah. So that can go in the freezer for a few hours, and that can be warmed up gently, and hopefully it's all ready to go. Yeah. And that's the way you get a new set of conrods, about a lot stronger because we're recycling. Let me just find. I don't think these are.
That's a Suzuki rod.
Yeah, that's a Suzuki rod. But at the end of the day, what you've done is you've cut. Hang on, this part out, and then ground the outside, and thus we got the hard wearing. Correct.
Amazingly, this is for the Honda crank. If we pass it back, passes one. These actually started off at 21mm wide, and they've actually been in the lathe.
Oh, you've.
And amazingly, they've machined down. I was amazed actually. Someone said try it, and
Give it a
I
go.
thought, nah, I can't see it working.
So what's that off then? A Suzuki what?
It's took a fair few tungsten tips to do it, but
Yes, it's very hard, incredibly hard.
Well, actually, once you got through so far,
Oh,
it was all right.
yeah, the
And it
surface
actually, yeah.
hardening has gone.
I think what they do when they make them, I don't think they make them as hard as. I think they're hardened, but not to the extent as like a bearing, a separate bearing.
Well, they're as hard as need to be at the end of the day.
Because if they make them too hard, they get too brittle. So
okay, so these are some sort of Suzuki which you're reusing in the Honda.
In the Honda
CB Twin, your wonderful project. But that's confusing because that's nothing to do with these conrods, which are for a different bike. These are for the what I call a spares bike, what you call a comp bike, and
So once what we've got to do is get them in there, and if I can just block the camera for a minute. What the Kawasaki's have is 2 bronze.
We can put it down there. We can
rings.
see. Yeah.
Now I think one's a mil thick and one's a 1.5 mil.
Yeah.
So when that's pressed in, it can't go central. It's got to be slightly offset to
make room for this. Yeah. Okay.
To allow for your 2 bronze. The only other snag is the oil that used to come out of there. What we might have to do is possibly once they're in, we might have to just cut a little nick in the rod
for some sort of
to allow for the oil to come out. Yeah. Because once you've got your two bronze thrust washers in, if you put them in, there's not really going to be a lot for the oil to escape, and you don't want to be holding it back too much.
Yeah. Okay, but the point being, this is all fantastic stuff, great, except you've got this old stuff here, this old gear, an old Wolf.
I'm using old crap to try and
making nice stuff, and it's difficult because it breaks down, and it's not as accurate as it should be, and you can't go out and spend £500 on a new one.
The machine itself isn't the problem; it's the motor.
It's the motor. Yeah.
I mean, I got it second hand, and I think most everything I get,
it's second hand. Yeah.
I seem to be the last in line saying, "Oh, here's an idiot. Sell it to him."
Yeah. And you buy it,
I'm the idiot at the end of the line.
Okay, and next then, let's look at something else you've got to do. And again, a bit of confusion here because you thought you had to do something, and I said, no, it's something else. So I'm a bit of a panic now. So let's move this over, and we'll look at that. Okay, so I've just refocused, and I'll show you some printouts of a bike engine. Let's look at this here. And this bike is quite a nice bike. It's newish.
Is that a 1700?
Yeah, VMAX.
It is a right.
Or thereabouts, yeah. I think they make about 200 brake horsepower, or almost that anyway. And the guy who owns it wants to fit a nitrous kit, would you believe? As if this wasn't powerful enough as it is. So therefore, after a bit of faffing about, come up with a rough idea of let's just make sure it's that way around, of kind of how this bracket's going to look to hold the nitrous bottle for the nitrous kit, and you've got the task of making it. So here we've got a super inaccurate bit of cardboard engineering with roughly where the holes are going to go to mount it, and you just got some plate here. I think what's this, 5 mil, 6 mil?
That's 6 mil. That
6 mil plate, yeah.
Either 6 or quarter.
And it can be fitted. We can get that shape in there. And it's not just going to be a simple shape, it's going to have cutouts in it to make it look pretty and match up with the style of the bike. And yeah, so that's a little job to do next, I think, because the guy wants it quite quickly. Yeah, so that's what's next, I think. Okay, and hopefully we'll see it when it's on the bike. Okay, Jess, here we are back a few days later. I see you've been busy. You've painted this motor yellow.
Not that it helped matters,
but you've also managed to reverse the polarity. Now it spins the right way. Right way. And you've added a belt guard, which is good. And you've been busy carrying on sorting out those bearings.
We've actually done a few while you were away.
Okay, great. And you're going to do one now?
Well, we can set one up.
Yeah, we'll set one up and we'll see.
It might be a bit noisy.
Oh, it's alright, I don't mind. I'll stand back.
And I think that might be in the wrong place.
Okay, why? Is it going to be a bit
dusty? Because I've got to stand
there. Oh, right, okay. In that case, I shall move and we'll start again in a minute. Right, okay. So
it's, you can see now how the high spots are now. It's, we've got a bit more to do, but it's actually now you can. You can only do 1 or 2 at a time. It doesn't. You've got it. It's a very slow process.
we can. Right, okay. So here's your semi-finished conrod, and here's
Finished.
a bearing that you've now done some work on.
Well, that's been ground actually. I've measured it. I think it's 0.05 of a millimetre, around about 2 thou.
Okay, so if we now put that on
that,
if you can see that, I'll make sure it's, yeah, and that should be pressed in there.
Well, what we're actually, hopefully, we're going to try and do is warm the rod, cool them, and hopefully
just fall in.
If I leave, they've got to go to a designated. They can't go right in the middle.
No, of course not.
We've got to, because of.
You need the space for washers, don't you?
Because there's 2 thrust washers that go each side. One is twice the gauge of the other. One's about 2 mil and one's about 1 mil.
Yeah, just to be helpful.
So
they're different.
We've got to. They can't go dead on. Oh,
the camera's just.
They can't go dead on. So what we'll have to do is put it on a flat plate, and what we may be able to do is just leave one of the washers on the flat plate
to hold it. Yeah.
And then when that drops in,
it'll drop in as far as it needs to go.
It'll just drop down and stop.
Okay. Just to be clear then, these semi-finished, as I call them, conrods, the reason they're semi-finished is because they're still pretty big and chunky and very heavy.
There's a bit more.
So what will you be doing to them next then?
Well,
other than taking weight off it?
Well, what we need to do is get these in.
Okay.
And then obviously I can then machine the bronze bushes that can be pressed in.
Okay.
To suit.
Oh, and that's going to happen before you finish off this?
Well, ideally, yeah, because if you finish the rod, you don't want to be risk clamping it or damaging it to do the other work
and distorting it in some way. Okay.
So I think it's ideal to get
those in first before you finish off.
Get them in.
Yeah.
Before all the.
Okay. And you're not just doing one, of course. You're doing 4, a set of 4 for the engine.
Yeah.
And so we've got over there, a bit blurry, 3 there, but then another 4,
well,
and another 4.
3, yeah.
Another 4 there, another 4 there, another 4 there. You've been quite busy, so you got 8. What is it? 5 sets. 5 sets. So I guess some are for spares and some are for, I don't know, something else. Who knows?
Well,
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Okay, so with that then, I think we'll call it quits. It's now the 29th of December, almost year end, and hopefully sometime next year, perhaps they'll be in a blooming engine actually running, but you never know. Hopefully.
Chance would be a fine thing, but let's see how it goes.
That's how it goes. So with that, we'll call this year over, and
let me get back on
to your grinding, and I can go and drink some more tea. So anyway, thanks for watching, and cheers.